My name is Rich Briggs. I'm the Senior Brand Director at Crystal Dynamics, and we're talking about Rise of the Tomb Raider on Xbox One X.
Hey, yo, Rich, what up, son?
What's
What's
up, Jar?
poppin', kid? What's good, son? You know what I'm saying? Now, usually, I know y'all see me, start out the interview and do all this other stuff, but I had to let my man Rich start out the interview. The reason why is because I'm extremely thankful, humble, and proud of your team for kicking ass and getting everything prepared for us gamers November 7th with the Xbox One X. I gotta tell you, man, what was, in your opinion, the most challenging part of getting this up and running, getting it ready for the enhancements of Rise of the Tomb Raider?
You know, actually for this project, while I'll never say the development is easy, but it was actually really fun this time around. It wasn't that difficult because what we had was a game that we think is already a very immersive, really beautiful experience. And for us, it was all about trying to figure out how can we push ourselves. We work with Nixie Software. These guys are masters at taking everything out of a piece of hardware, just delivering the best content. So for us, it was how do we get that extra level of polish? How do we make Lara look even better? How do we make the world more immersive? How do we make the NPCs, all the characters around her, feel more lifelike? So it was just about pushing ourselves further and further.
Got you. Now, I gotta ask you this, right? Working with the Xbox One X, what's the first immediate potential that you see about the system 2 years from now? What type of games you think we're gonna see, and what will Crystal Dynamics pull out of the system that we haven't seen before on console?
You're giving me a tough one.
Hell yeah!
Well, can't talk too much about the future just yet, but I will say we're always looking at what is the new technology. How do we stay cutting edge? And the thing that was really great about this was with things like the increased memory and the fact that you got this native 4K signal, that allowed us to deliver literally the highest fidelity Tomb Raider game that we've ever made. It literally is the ability for you to say, okay, I've got this 4K TV and I want true native 4K, I can deliver that now. But we also give people options. If you want to play in rich visuals, which really dials up all the graphics, or if you want to play high frame rate, which knocks things up to 60 frames per second, you got those choices too.
So now, at the end, no spoilers, but at the end of Tomb Raider, right, the way it ended, there's no way in the world you're gonna sit up here and tell me that we're not gonna see more of my homegirl Lara Croft. You know what I'm saying? So what I want to ask you, not so much from a developer standpoint, but from a fan standpoint, you playing the game and you ending it, what would you want to see? What would you want to see with the next Tomb Raider? What would you want to see? If you could have your dream feeling, your moment, what would you want to see?
Well, we've announced that it's going to be part of a trilogy. So yeah, obviously this is not the end of Lara's adventure, but we're not talking too much about where it's going just yet. But the thing that I want to see is what is that satisfying conclusion? Because as just a fan, as well as a developer, we want to know, where does Lara's story go next? What is she going to do? And so we want to make sure that we're satisfying our fans around the world when we tell that.
Now, I have a major question, right?
All right.
You got to hold the belt for this, though. Come on, Rich. Major question right now. There was a lot of backstory with what's the name?
Trinity?
No, not Trinity. There was a lot of backstory with Lara Croft's father.
Oh yeah.
And all the stuff that he was going through. Yeah. There was a big relationship there. Will we ever have an opportunity to play as Lara Croft's father in the game? Do you understand how much more millions of copies you will sell of this game?
I'm going to file that under very, very good ideas. I can't say anything, but that's a very good idea.
I'm trying, but you know that'd be crazy.
You got the mind of a developer. I like that.
Look, you know how I am, son. I'm the realest. I love games, man.
It's a really cool
so I think that'd be great. So now I got a couple more questions, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
All right.
Now this question is the most controversial question that I have to give you. So I really want to see what your answer's gonna be.
I'm ready.
So I was just with Aaron Greenberg, right? Out in PAX West. Now, one of the things I wish Microsoft didn't do was release that trailer video in 2016 when they was talking about how there would be it would be uncompromised, 4K, 60 frames per second, blah blah blah. And that's actually not the case with some of the games that I've played. A lot of the games is not 4K 60, but they do hit the native 4K mark.
Right.
Forza hit 4K 60, that's cool, but not every game is doing that. But their message, their message is, was on and off. what can you tell the fans that's about to purchase November 7th in terms of the true power under the hood of Xbox One X to let them know that they have nothing to worry about? Forget that video. Wait till you see what we do next. Like, what can you say to that?
Well, what I say is, for us, we're all about giving the players a choice. And like we were talking about earlier, if you want 60 frames per second because you want to have that silky smooth combat, or during the high octane action moments, you want to make sure that you're seeing how the water's cascading, how Lara's animations are all smoothed out, then you just play in the high frame rate mode. So we're putting the power in the hands of the fan. If you want a true 4K signal, on Rise of the Tomb Raider, that's going to be at 30 frames per second, but you can have that true 4K signal. And then if you want the enriched visuals, that'll be at 4K. It'll be at 30 frames per second. It does the checkerboarding technique, but you have that option as well. So we've got 3 different modes. So you can say, how do you want to play? Do I want the 60 frames per second? Or do I want native 4K? Or do I want all the technical bells and whistles? And you can switch on that on the fly. So I would say the message
and that's
for
dope
fans
that
is,
you can switch it on the fly.
Switch it on the fly. So I'm saying to the fans, your choice. The power's in your hands.
Got you. I'm glad you cleared it up because you did a lot better than what Microsoft had did initially. No, I just gotta keep it honest, but I love you, Aaron. I had to get that out. So I got 2 more questions. I want to wrap it up. Now, the next question is this: when it comes to like the online capabilities and the stuff that now the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm a big fan of Uncharted as well, and Uncharted had a great online component.
Great game.
And I feel like between Nathan Drake and Lara Croft, those are the 2 titans in the industry. I really feel that it'd be dope, considering this is a trilogy, that if the next Tomb Raider had a multiplayer component, co-op, or even a co-op component within the story, something like that. Have y'all explored those ideas?
We have. So we actually had a multiplayer component in Tomb Raider 2013 where it was competitive. And then based on what the fans were telling us, they said, hey, we want to raid tombs together. There's actually a mode in Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's called Endurance Mode, where you can play co-op. So you can go on a tomb raid with a fan. It's not playing the main story co-op.
Okay, yeah, that's
what I know is what you're asking about.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, we are exploring with it. Like, that's a great way for us to dip our toe in and say, what does co-op raiding a tomb look like? What does co-op surviving in the wilderness look like? So the answer is yes, we're exploring it, and we've got a mode in Rise of the Tomb Raider that you can play co-op endurance mode.
Okay, now my next question, and I think this right here will be a unique gameplay design change for Tomb Raider. I think it'll be amazing if you had it set up where you could actually utilize animals. So I'll give you an example. I love Far Cry. You can tame animals and stuff like that, really and utilize it. And that mechanic, now with Lara and stuff like that, I know she got to skin an animal, she got to eat, she got to survive. But the way the gameplay is, I think it'd be dope with some of the enemies that she's going against. She could like have a dog or like have something within the wilderness, because it's like she's one with it.
Right.
So it'd be amazing if you guys flipped the script and was like, you know what? What if we could utilize the enemy, utilize, a dog or
like
whatever, or like a wolf, or like something to work with me and take out my enemies and just create a whole new dynamic of gameplay. What are your thoughts on that?
So you got first your good idea about playing as Lara Croft. Good idea about working with animals, so I'm gonna file that away. It's all going up here.
That's what I'm talking about.
I can't make any promises, but it's all going up here.
But I care though. I really would love to see it go into new directions.
Idea. You can see that working. So
that's what I'm talking about.
Man.